So I started the conversation with, crazy market, isn't it? I had no idea what else to start with. But he was reading the Wall Street Journal, so I figured, So anyway, we start, conversing, and he starts telling me about his family, and, I was like, so you go to church? And he goes, yeah, I go to church once a week, whatever. And he tells me he's Catholic, and this and that, and how he doesn't like it, because they're always asking for money. But anyway, so one thing leads to another. So I say, I always had a question. I wondered something. I wondered, so you guys believe that Jesus is God's son because there's no father, right? So you call him a heavenly father. So that's what makes him God's son, because there was no man. It was just a woman, Mary, and she has this baby. So there's one parent missing, right? One human parent is missing. I would think Adam is twice as miraculous. The first human being is twice as miraculous. Why? Because both parents are missing. No mom and no dad. So, if you think he's the son of God because there's no dad, you should think like Adam is has twice the right to be considered son of God. Wouldn't Adam say, hey, wait a second. I don't get it. What do you guys think about that? And he goes, well, I guess that's the mystery of faith. And I've heard that answer many times, actually. They can't answer that question. Except that they can say, that's just a mystery, I suppose. The Qur'an is very clear. See, it just cuts to the heart of the matter. Now, this is one ayah in which both Jesus and Adam have been mentioned in the same ayah, in the same breath. They've been talked about. The example of Isa, the example of Jesus, is just like the example of Adam as far as God is concerned. And Allah. Okay. Interesting note. The Qur'an mentions Jesus 25 times. The Qur'an mentions Isa alayhi salam 25 times. The Qur'an mentions Adam 25 times. Over the course of 23 years and the 600 pages of revelation that we have, the example of Jesus as far as God's concerned is just like the example of Adam. Isn't that what he said? The example of Isa is just like the example of Adam. The two prophets that have been mentioned the same number of times, 25 each, are who? Isa and Adam. And then what's even crazier is this is in the third surah. This is in the third surah. How many times did I say it's been mentioned? 25 times. If you go before this surah, before the third surah, before Ali Imran, you have Fatiha, and then you have Baqarah, and then you have some parts of Ali Imran, and you have this ayah. Up until this point, Isa has been mentioned 6 times. This is the 7th time. This is the 7th time that his name has come up. And if you go from the beginning up until this point, this is also the 7th time Adam is mentioned. And if you go from here to the rest of the Qur'an, both of them are going to be mentioned 18 times each. The example of Isa as far as Allah is concerned, no doubt, is just like the example of Adam.